Hi, and welcome to Worded Door. Today we're answering the question, what is Dungeons & Dragons? You may have heard weird things about it. You may be a parent concerned with the hobbies your kids may be getting into. You may be a concerned girl or boyfriend wondering what your significant other is getting into. You could be concerned that if you get into this with your friends, you'll never have a significant other. Well, hopefully that isn't the kind of impact this game has on your life. I know it didn't have that kind of impact on mine. But let's go over what D&D is. In D&D, you create a character. And in a fantasy world, you may create an elven character or a dwarf character. It's all very themey and sweet. After that, you ask yourself, what kind of role am I going to fill in this party? Am I going to be a sneaky and yet very capable swordsman? Or am I going to be a powerful wizard? Nobody starts out powerful, but aspire to be a very powerful wizard. Well, that's all up to you, but what we also need to know is how is D&D played? Back before the pandemic, we used to play it a lot like this. I was in a basement at 16, I was in a basement at 36, 20 years later, it's still all the same format. Now it's been played on Roll20 and Foundry and Fantasy Grounds a lot more simply because no one wants to see each other. So what is D&D not? D&D is not this. It is not going to the Renaissance Fair and dressing up. Now, some groups may take that aspect to the table, but it's not for me. This guy on the end reminds me a ton of myself from high school. It's not something I want to revisit. D&D is also not Satanism. Took a really bad rap there in the 80s that it somehow made kids worship the devil. It's ridiculous. There's no substance to it whatsoever. But let me really spell out the game. So, as you see, that screen is hiding my notes and beverage from the other players. I stepped away from the table, got to be cautious, right? So I'm facilitating these adults, I'm narrating this game, so I come up with obstacles and problems for them to work their way through. It's a great thing to help young children develop their problem-solving skills and a little bit of mathematics too. What kind of mathematics? Well, that's really the core of the game. The dice are a variable. So you roll the dice. I rolled a 20 on a 20-sided dice. Whatever just happened, I can almost guarantee I succeed. I'm going to add a fixed score to that based on my abilities. Well, I'm really charismatic and I'm trying to get into the back room of a swanky club to meet some pirate captain, but there's an intimidating, pirate at the door. But I'm suave, and he lets me in because my fixed number and my variable number equal 25 in this case, and we're crushing it. Lets me right in. But sometimes the other thing happens. I rolled a 1. Sucks to suck, and that's what happens. I'm sucking, and now this pirate, I probably offended him so badly, because even though I have a charisma modifier of 5, it wound up being a 6. What did I say? Probably something that came off some terrible pirate jargon I know nothing about. Now that we understand how the numbers work, let's talk about the session. It usually takes 2 hours minimum. You want about 3 to 6 people playing total, no more than 6 party members, I would suggest, especially if it's your first time. Now, as I said, you start at 2 hours, but really the game can go, since it's narrative, as long as you have the time. I think my cousins and I are going to set several days aside here in a month or so just to sit down and game and catch up. So, hopefully this overview's been helpful for you. Like, share, and subscribe to Worded Door, and I will catch you next time.